We are talking with Scott Kellen from SixCentSports.com, Robert Ferringo from Doc Sports, and professional NFL handicapper Vanessa Walsh previewing NFL Week 6 on the SBR TV NFL Experts Roundtable. Vanessa, let's get to the second game that you wanted to talk about. This is another game I'm interested to see why you picked it, because to me it's another line that just says stay off for me. It's Giants -3 at home against the Bills. They're right now a favorite line that's about -125 at Pinnacle, opened at about -110. The Giants, of course, they had a pretty sickening home loss last week as a double-digit home favorite to Seattle. The Giants are 3-2 straight up and against the spread, but they just seem, to my eye, to be looking kind of crappy with a bunch of problems. Their defense isn't playing well. Eli Manning's been sacked a ton of times this year. He's almost at his season total from last year. But 3 points, I'm just not sure what to make of this line. Why do you like this game?
Well, I like the underdog here. The Bills +3, I think, is a safer bet to go. The Giants have definitely become one of the most difficult teams to predict this year, and in Week 5, that just really was shown how they dropped the ball against Seattle Seahawks game. I lost a lot there, but I think that the Giants, with all their key injuries that they have on offense, with running back Brandon Jacobs, his bad knee, Mario Manningham, I think that that's going to give the Bills a little bit of an advantage. Eli Manning has 5 interceptions and 2 lost fumbles. He alone is responsible for 7 turnovers. So Bills' opportunistic defense, 2 weeks after picking off Tom Brady 4 times, and Michael Vick was a victim 4 times as well. In 3 consecutive games, the defense has returned an interception for 6 points. So I think that's where the key will be, is in turnovers. Not to mention the Bills have scored 164 points, 3rd most in the NFL. And total for the season, they had 12 interceptions, which leads the league. They had 4 interceptions in this last game, which one more than they had in all 16 games they had last season. So I believe that the Giants have yet to put another consistent game, and hopefully the Bills will take advantage of that.
Yeah, this game, it has the feel of one of those games where, you look at it, Giants coming off a terrible home loss to Seattle. The Bills have some high-profile wins very recently, but it just has the feel of one of those games where it's obviously on paper you would think maybe the Bills would be a good bet here, but then the Giants come out and get a pretty convincing win. Scott Kellen from SixCentSports.com, what light can you shed on this line?
I don't have a big opinion on this. I make the number 3, so I think it's pretty fair, obviously. And I do have a fundamental rushing situation that applies to Buffalo in this game, and it's basically based off of their success running the ball last week. They were successful running the ball, and a lot of times that tends to spill over to the next game, especially when they're an underdog in this case. So I'll lean towards Buffalo, but short of that, I don't have a lot of opinion on it. The Giants have a slightly better defense here. They're a little banged up. Looks like Tuck will probably miss the game again, which does not help them. Obviously, they've got some key injuries from early in the year. They lost a bunch of guys in defense. And the Buffalo offense obviously can move the ball, especially running the ball. But like I said, not a big opinion here. I think the line's fair, and I'll lean with Buffalo, who seems to be in a pretty good momentum spot right now.
All right, fair enough. Robert Ferringo from Doc Sports, you've mentioned a bunch of times on these shows this year that when the Giants are looking like they're at their worst, that's when you want to bet on them. Is this one of the situations for you, and would you touch this line?
Unfortunately, it's not.
Okay.
And that is the thing about the Giants. They seem like they are one of the most unpredictable teams in the NFL. They're actually one of the most predictable. You know what I mean? I didn't think they would lose last week against Seattle, but I absolutely didn't expect them to come out and lay a big number on them, and didn't think that they would cover that spread. You want to bet against the Giants when expectations are high, and you want to bet on the Giants when expectations are low. The problem is I don't see either one of those kind of motivational situations playing out in this game. It looks like the public is jumping all over Buffalo. Almost 70% of the action is coming in on the Bills. And like Vanessa said, it's a really good matchup for Buffalo in that they're an opportunistic turnover-producing defense playing against Eli Manning and a Giants offense that they just want to turn the ball over a lot of the times. However, the thing about the Bills is, and I'm just still not buying into them, those defensive touchdowns, that plus 11 turnover margin that's number 1 in the NFL, it's just not going to last. Their talent level just isn't that high. They're riding a nice wave. They're on a nice rush right now. But long term, I'm not a buyer in Buffalo. It's going to happen one of these weeks where, again, the dam is going to break, and then all of a sudden they're going to remember that they are the Bills, and they're going to start losing again. I don't know what week that is. I don't know if this is going to be the week. But until then, there's not really many times I'm going to be jumping on the Buffalo bandwagon.